high school students, and middle schoolers from Brockton and East Greenwich Public School systems gathered at Bridgewater State University to discuss such topics as climate change, illicit drugs, healthcare, and the rising costs of education in this country, as well as many other topics. This program will showcase these students' efforts to a large crowd of educators as well as their peers.
Okay. Breaks poverty cycle. Girls who complete primary and secondary education are likely to have fewer unwanted pregnancies and higher income, which helps break the cycle of poverty. It also ensures
they all have high taxes, and they have a very good education system because of that. They have like all these nice computers, all these very good things because of the high taxes. And they also have like everything is good, like stronger, better infrastructure mainly because of their high taxes.
And so what would you do to thwart all this? How do you
To
stop
thwart all this, so the solution that we came up with, the little sneak peek, if you will, that we're having is a lot of education for people, starting from a young age, maybe thinking about kindergarten onward, so that they'll know not to do such drugs, or they'll stay away from it more, because a lot of governments, they try to fight it, whether it's the Mexican government fighting the cartels, or the U.S. government trying to like incarcerate so many people. The fact of the matter is, that's not working.
Right.
So what we decide to do is take another path, so to speak, and try to do education, so that people actually learn from a younger age what not to do with drugs and how not to become addicted to them.
Buying a car or buying a house, which is not helping the economy. And this project is about how colleges are becoming increasingly expensive and how people are not able to pay for it, and they're using all their disposable income to try and getting it back.
And unfortunately, a key piece into this is that the economy is not growing, meaning you have all these people going into college, taking out loans, getting degrees, and now there is no jobs for them. So now you have all these people with degrees now, but with minimum wage jobs, or jobs that don't essentially pay off all the debts that they need to in order to finish off their college loans.
Healthcare has been a global issue for many decades now, and our mission is to find a way to help it expand around the world, to get people to understand why it's been such a big issue, and we're trying to find a way to decrease the amount of problems in the world going through the lens of healthcare.
Our project is college sports in the Upper community, and my team is BBOD, which stands for Bright Buddies on Deck.
And these players go on from their low-income and economically disadvantaged communities, and they go to college and they play for a free education, but the education isn't so much of an education. There's evidence of fake paper classes, which they don't really learn anything. They don't meet, and they have one final paper due, which is their only requirement. And then after school, only 1% of them become professionals, and they're oftentimes sent back with no skills because they didn't learn anything from these fake paper classes. And while all this is happening, the universities are banking profits, and there's no pay for participation.
If you multiply the minimum wage times the amount of hours that the students play for, that amount of money, it doesn't add up to that much, so the NCAA could give that money to the students and they still wouldn't be taking a major loss.
These people are educated, these people are can be taxed, and we don't realize that, and it's something that we want to tell people.
Yeah, we generally realize the costs versus the benefits, more than the benefits, and that is one of the main reasons why so many people are afraid of this huge income of people, not only for fear that we're going to be losing jobs, but people are fearing that it's just going to be something that it's going to be overwhelming, and we're not going to be able to take in these many people. And that's just wrong because we can handle them using tax, we can handle them with housing, we can handle them with jobs, and these people aren't necessarily being handled, but they're being adopted into our way of life, and that way these people are able to find jobs, and that not only helps them, but it helps us as a country.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the reason why we're not ready to take the leap of faith is because America's not educated enough on this topic.
They believe politicians without really getting
they don't look deeper into the real truth of it. So when our founding fathers founded America, it was based on letting others come in, and
we're a nation of immigrants.
And we're all from different places. No one's from America. We could be from England, Asia, everyone, Italy.
And every single time that people have come into the United States, they've integrated into society and become a part of what it means to be an American. And for us to absolutely throw away with that mentality would be terrible. The Statue of Liberty, why would we throw away the quote? Let me lift my lamp beside the golden door. Why would we throw away with that mentality when we can bring in these people and continue our reputation as a leading force in relocating immigrants in America?
How much of this do you think is prejudice against Muslims?
For an educated person to think about this in the way that we just showed you with the graph, that 3 people have been arrested on terrorism charges, that's out of 800,000. We're a country that was built on foundations of immigration. The Statue of Liberty, lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Basically, our topic is just about the income gap between the middle class and the upper class, and how the 1%, or the 1% of the 1% rather, the richest 400 million Americans have more wealth combined than the bottom 150 million Americans. So it's a huge.
Yes, and I also have to agree with that, because with income inequality, it's a huge gap. It doesn't only affect just the middle class and the 1%, it affects everyone worldwide. So it affects the lower class, the people who are poor, who are in debt, who can't afford education, who aren't able to work because they are in debt. And when we look at the statistics for taxes that the top 1% pays, they pay around 11%, while we, the middle class, we have to hold and pay around 30%.
The Global Economic Summit is one step in providing students with the necessary skills to compete and thrive in a globalized world. We want to thank in advance the volunteers and the judges who have donated their time to help make this a viable, worthwhile, and successful event, and to recognize the special efforts of the organizers for their dedication to global education and student empowerment. Over the 30 or so years have come through the program, and I think some kids from Brockton have actually been in that program going forward, right? Absolutely. All right. Then we have Representative Carlos Gonzalez, who's a state representative, 10th Hampton District, right, from Springfield. Right.
Global warming is the gradual increase of the temperature of the atmosphere of the Earth. It has always existed to some people's surprise, and some people don't really realize that, but they need to start getting into it, because if we keep on going at the rate we are now, we're going to be unlivable by 2050. Unfortunately, there is no cure or solution to global warming, so by everybody being educated and informed about it, we can mitigate, as I said, and adapt to it. But we should never settle, as when we settle, we do not improve anything, and we will just keep on going on this down spiral we are right now. And we will soon end up with an unlivable Earth. I believe that individuals are more of the aspect that we're looking at that can do all the shutting off the lights and everything. But even in businesses, the people in the businesses, they can also start turning off the lights in the business, because sometimes they leave their lights running at night. Why would you do that? You're just wasting more energy that can just be saved up for the next day or the next year.
We are doing Women's Educational Rights.
Value of an education. Women are untapped potential. Half the world's population are made up of women. They may have talents we have never seen or heard of. Time, lack of resources, laws, accessibility, religion might prohibit women from getting a good education.
Educating women would benefit every country's economy and would improve the standard of living. 478,850,000 women worldwide are denied the opportunity to learn how to read and write. An African proverb once said, "To educate a woman would be to educate an entire nation." Women's education benefits everyone, including children, businesses, and the economy.
Well, Derek, just goes to show you, they know 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes.
Yes.
All right.
And less things will be known that we haven't discovered. The history. In the World War II, women were the ones that got us through the Depression. If they didn't have the right education, they wouldn't have been able to work in the factories and provide the needs that the men had for the supplies, and we probably wouldn't have won the war. Because the women worked, they went from $0 to $32 from getting $0 to $32. And because they got money, they had to pay taxes, and that was a huge part that boosted the economy and made it stronger.
It improves the schools. It improves quality, so children will get better education. And when those children get better education, they will become better educators. And those better educators then go back and help children get better education. And with that better education, they create more jobs, which higher paying income, which then they pay more taxes, which then helps the whole cycle again. And then it also helps transportation. More taxes, you get faster transportation of goods. And that means so then with the goods transporting faster, the economy rises. And with that economy, you can help the public services with more taxes, help the roads, clear them up, which then goes back to have the goods transported faster, which then strengthens the whole infrastructure of the economy.
Now, what is income inequality? Well, income inequality is the uneven distribution of wealth amongst the population. So it's divided into the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. So really, income inequality, it affects our economic growth. Take this chart by example. When you look at this chart, it shows how fast income has grown for the top 1% compared to other income groups for the last 28 years. So the richest 10% hold 38% of all privately held wealth in the United States, while the bottom 90% hold 73% of all debt.
We're sitting here we're not really thinking about when is the next time we're going to be able to have clean water. So as individuals, we need to think by ourselves and put other people into consideration and think about how clean water is affecting their lives, because not everybody is going through this problem of looking for clean water. So I believe if we can come together and set up local community groups that can help this problem, I feel we as a group feel that it can help other countries in the world that are lacking in clean water.
Today, we wanted to tell you about something that's happening worldwide, all around the world. And it's called gun violence. And all of us young kids have already been introduced to it.
1 in 3 people in the U.S. know someone who has been shot. On average, 30 more Americans are murdered with guns every day, and 151 are treated for a gun assault in an emergency room. Every day on average, 55 people kill themselves with a firearm, and 46 people are shot or killed in an accident with a gun. The U.S. firearm homicide rate is 20 times higher than the combined rate of 22 countries that are our peers in wealth and population.
These are some solutions to stop gun violence. First, you could establish the culture of gun safety. Second, make laws more strict to purchase or own guns. And last, boycott gun shops.
In order to put a stop
stop to the unnecessary deaths in hunger and malnutrition, we must work together to make smart decisions to those and help those that are in need.
Hunger accounts for over 300 million deaths in children overall. And in all people, hunger kills more per year than AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined.
The United States is a major distributor. It distributes drugs nationally and internationally.
Your focus was on rehabilitation and on education. Can education change behavior?
I believe so. One reason why is because we're not really focusing on this generation. We're focusing on the upcoming generation that's about to come out.
You're giving up on us?
We're not giving up, but we're kind of a little stubborn, if you guys know what I mean. We're not like as, well, how can I say this, as open and as like dedicated to changing ourselves. We like, okay, well, I'm addicted to drugs, I need drugs, I need drugs. Even if we provide rehabilitation centers for you guys are still like, we're just not gonna go for it. We wanna start with the youngest as possible, the newcomer.
Might I also add the fact that you said that this education changed behavior. Well, one of the greatest things that we see here in America is, of course, it changes behavior. We've seen that through a lot of the education that happens throughout the society, whether it's the prohibition, or there's like knowing about things like cigarettes. We knew the fact, once we found out that they're harmful to us, we started to get our education towards people that are younger, trying to get them to figure out this is bad for you, you shouldn't do it. Now, one of the states in America is, all the teens in the state are cigarette free, that is Florida. And they got to that point through the education, they got to that point from understanding the fact that, well, education does change.
6 million metric tons of plastic are in our oceans today. This statistic is only going to go up from here, and plastic is the leading contributor of the pollution that is in our oceans.
When you go and try to play a college sport, you sign a letter of intent, basically giving away all your athletic abilities to the NCAA, and they use it to profit off of it. Now, since this is a global symposium, the NCAA doesn't just focus on the USA. It has tournaments and championships all around the world, such as in Europe. So, systematic exploitation. The global mindset of the powerful using their money and their power non-judiciously and taking advantage of the powerless. Practically what they're doing is taking away the money that's supposed to be going back to either the students or the communities and using it for other necessities.
Well done. My name is Derek O'Connor. I'm from Eastern Bank, and I want to say thank you for having me once again. And I'm sure everybody on the judges panel that was able to stay around, Nelia, Joanne, and Fran, just wanted to say thank you to them. I believe everybody thought that everyone did a wonderful job today. So good job. And in third place today is TAJJ. In second place, Women's Education Rights. These are the team names, not team topic, just to let you know. In first place, Lost Generation. No further ado, third place, Game of Loans. In second place, illicit drugs. And in first place, income and inequality.
My name is Albert Michel. We have Opal Polynice, Angela Gerodier, Mary Sannon, and Joaquin Pires. Our president was supposed to come today, but she had some issues going on with the family members, so she wasn't able to make it. So practically, some of us are the original Empower Yourself members. We started in 6th grade when Mr. Turner came as a substitute teachers to North, Ashfield, and Plouffe and started talking about this financial literacy program. Now I'm a 6th grader, I am 11 years old, and I think financial literacy, it's all money. Ooh, I'm gonna get some money, I get to spend some money, I get to have a white party like P. Diddy and enjoy everything. But it was nothing close to that at all. Empower Yourself is practically a financial literacy program that helps underprivileged youth in the community learn about financial and economic business. Because we are the future leaders of the world. We need to know how to spend our money wisely, use it in certain categories for specific things instead of spending it all willy-nilly. Because you can't go to like a regular adult right now and ask them, oh, what's a bond? What's the difference between a 401k plan and a 403b? But if you ask one of us, we'd automatically know it like that. It wouldn't be just because we just know it. It was the hard work and dedication that we put into it because of Mr. Turner. And we just like to also thank Ms. Walder because she also helped us drive even more into the program as we came into the high school. So, is there a clicker?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay. How does this work? Okay. So I practically explained this while we were getting everything set up. Educate underserved youth in the urban communities in field of financial literacy, business, economics, so they make informed financial and economic decisions later on in the future. I'm saying this too.
Oh, this one.
Is you? Okay.
Okay, so my job is to talk about why this organization is so important. A quote from Eleanor Roosevelt is, we cannot always build a future for our youth, but we can build our youth for a future. And that was such a profound quote to me, and it really stood out in many ways because it really helped me to understand the necessity of equipping the youth with the opportunities to succeed. And I think this is what this organization really does. It, like Mr. Turner made a great point earlier, we don't have the best, points of access, to be able to talk to CEOs like we are able to now, or we're able to compete with schools like BLS, Boston Latin, or East Greenwich. But because of the opportunities that this program or this organization provides, we are able to. Like, I never thought that I could be 7th grade going up against high schoolers and, coming in the top 10, but I did, we did. And it proved to us that we can do it. We are smart kids, and if we're recognized, we can prove that. Next slide.
So, me personally, I joined Empower Yourself at the end of last year because I didn't know much about it. So I don't have as much experience, but to be honest, I didn't know anything about finance. I didn't really care about finance. I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to school, get all A's. I walked in there and I learned so much about finance and how to become financially literate. And just by that, I was hooked. And from ever since, I think we all have put so much effort into this organization. And our experience is that it opened new opportunities for us to improve our skills. We all have individual skills that we want to obtain, but with Empower Yourself, we were able to make that skill even greater. We also have we also have found a way to actually build our long-lasting connections with people and relationships within the Empower Yourself group itself. We have built so much connection among one another. So I feel that's very important. I think that's what we all have benefited from this group.
Next one. Okay, so what Mr. Turner didn't really say was that I'm his very first. I was there from the beginning of 6th grade, that first day, the Tuesday, after school, after all my classes, waiting in that caf, getting my little after school class snacks, and then coming to the class. I was his very first. He didn't mention that, but okay, I got you, Mr. Turner. Okay, so the Empower Yourself has done many astonishing things throughout the community and the school. We have partnered with Eastern Bank, setting up, giving out bags to help kids prepare for the school year. We have also partnered with United Way throughout, I think it was in the middle of the school year we were doing that. We had this coat drive where we had coats, hats, gloves, helping families and children around like the community.
So it's not something, we don't only help impact the community, but we're very grateful to be part of Brockton Public School. And we're very grateful that we had the opportunity in many cases to involve students in the school. For example, with the FBI Academy, I don't think.
Click. They fit in.
Click. I'll continue. With the FBI Academy, we had a chance to get a lot of people in the school actually come in and learn certain things about being an FBI agent, what it's like. It's not only that, also, we have had many luncheons with important people to give us the information that we need in order to have a successful future, or to lead us in a successful future, which is very important. And we would gladly thank the Brockton Public System, the superintendents, the principals for making this all possible, because we all feel that's very important.
One more thing is that during our FBI Academy, we also learned something very important. Some kids did not know that if you test drugs or illegal drinking alcohol, that can stay in your system and that could prevent you from getting a job that you really wanted. When we heard that, we were like, oh, okay, no more doing that, right? We are helping ourselves. These people coming in, teaching us things that we didn't even know that could prevent us from actually becoming an agent further on. So the Empower Yourself has taught us many great things, and that's pretty much it. Inspired us.
Before we close up, can we get the middle school kids up here too? Because it's not just us, it's also them, because they're future kids.
Jordan. No, Jordan, you're part of this. Come.
We'd like to present you this evening with a couple of certificates. As you can see, we're very proud of all the work that you have accomplished. So let's kind of squeeze in here. I know you've already shouted out to your principals. I know Principal Barbara Lovell is here in the audience, Principal Sharon Wolder, and I know Shauna Hearn, and I see teachers out there. I could see your smiling faces when they were presenting. I know how you've supported them along the way, so thank you.
So we would like to award some certificates of recognition to the Empower Yourself program at North Middle School for a depth of knowledge in finance and economics and outstanding achievement at the Global Economic Issues Symposium at Bridgewater State University. So, who is here from North Middle School?
No.
Any students from North Middle School?
We'll give that to Mr. Turner.
Okay, we'll give that to Mr. Turner.
Bring it over there to North.
Okay, and I know that Principal Lovell is here, so we have a certificate of recognition for the Ashfield School, middle school, so I'll give that to Mr. Turner. Or is someone here from Ashfield? Ah.
He's coming to Ashfield here?
Great. Okay, hi. So this is for you and to give to Principal Lovell. Congratulations. And then we also have one for Brockton High School, and I know that Principal Wolder is here.